diseased, not performing well, and you want to leave wood which is healthy, vigorous, it's going to grow and give you lots of flowers. So old wood and dead wood. Small loppers for smaller plants are a little more difficult to get into because of the proximity of getting down here. Sometimes that's awkward. So a saw also, because you can't get everything with loppers. In a plant that you might have in your garden that might be growing, say, this high, and have quite a circumference, I would like to leave 5 to 7 nice canes. Now these canes here are nice and new, and they've got that nice reddy tinge to them, green background. They're ideal. They're your new canes that have come up for the years. So you retain the good new ones and you remove the old material. That's nice and clean. You cut to, as a rule, you cut to an outward facing bud so that the growth comes outward. That's the general rule of thumb. And you cut about 1/4 to 1/2 inch above the bud and on a slope. So like this, if I go through there, I've cut above that bud on a slope, and the bud is facing outwards. And I can do the same over here. There's a bud over here. Cut him there, bud facing outwards. This one here, now some of these have already blown out, these have grown away, so I could just go up to one up here, and I like to leave one leading growth coming away. So if there are multiples, I take them off and I leave one growing tip down at the base here. So we call this the union or the sky, but it's actually just the base of the rose where it's been grafted. I won't get through that with my secateurs, so that's too tough, and you'll only do your wrist damage and your self damage. So that's where you can use either your loppers, and I'd take it right in there. Try and make a nice clean cut. This gets cleaned or sterilised, if you like, first with the lime sulphur. So as soon as I prune, I'll give it a lime sulphur all over the plant or around the base. About 4 to 6 weeks later, I'll give it copper and oil together. So lime sulphur is by itself, copper and oil together, but 4 weeks apart because they're not compatible. Top of the soil is about there, and the growing tips are all above it. So that should it throw, and it will throw new buds, it's all above ground. So there's the level. And then the roots I could trim back. If they haven't been trimmed back, these will trim back today. So I'll leave them as they are. Plant it in, water it once, and then that would be enough. I would leave it and let it settle and let it get away. It's high, so that's the starting point. So we're going to end up roughly across here. You can take all your surplus wood off simply by doing a superficial, and I often do this with a saw, with one of those hedge trimmers. So I've got my plants might be up here. Well, I'll go along and take half of the material off just with the hedge trimmer straight away, because it gets all of that material out of them. Too small or too thin, I want to take away. So if they're too thin, they come off, and I want one leading bud. So let's do that one there. This one here is quite thin. This one here is quite old, so I don't want it. Take them right back at the base. There's a nice bud there, and a nice bud there. Okay, I might have taken a bit more than a half. That's perfectly good. That's fine. The plant's got a nice root structure, and I've got nice buds ready for it to come away. Pruning now, I've started pruning already, so no problem in taking any of the rosewood away, because they will just sit there quietly over winter.